I never knew a single moment could change an entire life until it happened to me. It was a day that began like any other, ordinary, unremarkable, forgettable. I woke up, went through the same routines, spoke the same practiced words, and lived the same safe life I had been living for years. Nothing felt wrong, but nothing felt right either. I didn't know it then, but I was slowly disappearing inside my own life. Dreams I once held tightly had slipped through my fingers. Courage I once believed in had grown silent. And somewhere along the way, I forgot who I was trying to become. Then came that moment. A moment so simple, so small, that if you saw it from the outside, you would never understand why it mattered. It was just a conversation, just a question, just a truth I wasn't ready to hear. Someone asked me, quietly, honestly, are you living the life you want, or the life you settled for? I froze. Because every answer I tried to form sounded like a lie. Every dream I had buried rose up like a ghost, and the silence between us suddenly felt heavier than my entire past. I walked away, pretending I was okay, but inside, something had cracked open, something old, something forgotten. As I stepped outside, the world felt different, sharper, louder, painfully real. Every regret I had ever ignored rushed back to me. Every fear I had ever protected stood in front of me, and every version of myself that I had sacrificed whispered the same thing. This is not who you were meant to be. I stood there, breathing, shaking, unable to hide from the truth anymore. And for the first time, I asked myself a question I had avoided for years. If I don't change my life now, when will I? No one was watching. No one would have cared. But that small, quiet moment became my turning point. Right then and there, I made a decision. A decision without fireworks or applause. A decision no one would see, but one that would rewrite every chapter of my life. I decided to stop living in fear, stop shrinking myself to make others comfortable, stop waiting for permission that would never come. I decided that my life, my real life, would begin with one simple step. Courage. Not the loud kind, not the dramatic kind, just the kind that says, I will not stay where I no longer belong. In the days that followed, everything changed slowly, painfully, beautifully. I learned to say no. I learned to say yes. I learned to speak truths I had buried for years. And most importantly, I learned to choose myself. And with every small step, my life shifted. My world opened. My heart returned. The person I had lost came back, not the same, but stronger. Looking back now, I realized something powerful. It wasn't a disaster. It wasn't heartbreak. It wasn't loss. It was a single honest moment that changed everything. A moment that showed me who I was, and who I could still become. That was the moment that changed my life forever. The real change didn't happen in that moment of fear. It happened after it, in the quiet that followed. For the first time in my life, I sat alone, truly alone, and asked myself the question I had been running from. If life can end without warning, then what am I doing with the time I have? That question shook me more than the danger itself. Suddenly, all the things I was afraid to do, all the excuses I used to hide behind, all the dreams I kept delaying, felt stupid, small, meaningless. I realized something painfully simple. Life doesn't wait. But we do. We wait for the right time. We wait for the right opportunity. We wait for someone to believe in us. We wait for courage to magically show up. But nothing comes. Nothing changes. Unless we change. So that day, with shaking hands and a racing heart, I made a promise to myself. No more fear. No more waiting. No more living someone else's version of my life. And slowly, one tiny step at a time, I began rebuilding who I was. I cut people out who were pulling me down. I walked away from things that were killing my peace. I said yes to dreams I used to think were impossible. And most importantly, I started believing in myself even when no one else did. Was it easy? No. Was it worth it? More than anything. Because sometimes, life breaks you, just to rebuild you, into someone stronger than you ever imagined. And the day that almost took everything from me came the day that gave me myself back. That was the moment. That changed my life forever.